folks? What's up? Rich Van Tassel back with you, giving you the recap of that Sunday night game, which could not end fast enough. Washington Redskins 27-10 over the Oakland Raiders, and frankly, it was not even that close. I'm not even sure if this is the correct box score right now. I don't really care. I stayed up watching that, so I'm just going to go with what we have. It doesn't really matter. Derek Carr, 19 of 31, 118 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. His first pass of the game was intercepted, and the numbers were bad all night long for the Raiders. Marshawn Lynch, 6 rushes, 18 yards, 3 yards per carry. Cordell Patterson, 2 for 5. Derek Carr, 2 for 5. The team, 13 of 32. Running the ball, 2.5 yards per carry. Jared Cook, 4 receptions, 43 yards, a touchdown. DeAndre Washington, 5 for 24. Seth Roberts, 4 for 20. 9 guys caught passes. A lot of that was towards the end of the game where they're just, throwing it to whoever up the field, though. James Cowser recovered 2 fumbles. Seth Roberts lost a fumble. 1 sack. It was Khalil Mack's, right? Yeah. But Morgan Moses, the offensive lineman, the right tackle for the Washington Redskins, I feel won that battle tonight, as basically everyone on the Redskins won their battle. Cordell Patterson, 1 kick return for 27 yards, no interceptions. Jalen Richard, 2 punt returns for 4 yards. Looks like I'm getting the official box score now, so whatever. It is what it is. Kirk Cousins, short man in this game, 25 of 30, 365 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. You don't play much better than that, and one of those was definitely a drop. Samaje Perine, 19 carries, 49 yards, 2.6. Chris Thompson, who had an incredible game, 8 for 38, 4.8 yards per rush. Mac Brown, 6 of 27, 34 of 116, 3.4 yards per rush. Chris Thompson was the top receiver, 6 receptions, 150 yards. He had 1 touchdown. His 74-yarder was not the touchdown. He did have the first touchdown of the game. That 74-yarder, was huge. It was a 3rd and 19. Washington had been controlling the game all night long. They fumbled a punt that allowed Oakland to get a touchdown, cut it to 21-7. That was the next possession after it. So the life raft was there, and that quickly put an end to it. Vernon Davis, 5 for 58, a touchdown. Josh Doctson, 1 for 52, and a touchdown. Jamison Crowder, 6 of 52. Martell Spate recovered a fumble. Jamison Crowder and Samaje Perine both fumbled and lost it. Ryan Kerrigan a sack. Preston Smith a sack. Split sack between Junior Gillette and Matt Ion, or is that an L or an I? Leonidas or Ionitis? I'm probably going to say Ionitis, being that it's Greek, and Jonathan Allen also had a sack. Kendall Fuller and Monte Nicholson both had an interception. Monte Nicholson was very good. Hats off to Josh Norman in this game. Anyone who pretends and he's getting one of the stars of the games here. Josh Norman is an elite cornerback. You may not like his antics, but the guy is top notch. Jamison Crowder for punt returns for 23 yards. Dustin Hopkins 2 for 3 in his field goal. Oakland, I don't know if, I had discussed in the pregame, I didn't think the west to east travel would affect them that much, being that it was a late game here. I don't know if that was still part of it. I guess they'd be used to it being 5 o'clock on the West Coast. You usually play at 1. You don't even play the late games on the West Coast. You play the late games, obviously, at 4 o'clock Eastern. So could that have been it? They were just, not ready where they would normally be ready in this case, and 4 hours earlier. I don't know. They just did not have anything tonight. 3 turnovers. They did only have 4 penalties, which is surprising for an Oakland team. So really wasn't terrible there at all. But 48 plays for 128 total yards in comparison to the Redskins, who had 65 plays for 472 total yards. Whereas 38-19 to 21-41 in the time of possession. 0 for 11 on 3rd down were the Raiders. Just awful game. There's nothing else to it. They were talking about maybe the anthem protest, not knowing what they do. I don't think that was part of it. Frankly, I think that if anything, it was the travel west to east, and you're playing 8 o'clock at night on the East Coast. You're used to playing at 1 o'clock on the West Coast, and at most 1 o'clock when you come east, and that something had to have been happening. maybe Michael Crabtree slept with Derek Carr's girlfriend. I don't know what happened, but there was something going on with the Oakland Raiders. They were, I mean, hats off to the Washington Redskins. They played sensational. I think they took, the heart out of it. They were just all over the ball. But to say that Oakland was at all sharp in this game would be, just a completely false statement. They were terrible in this game. They did not come out ready to play. But I should focus on the Redskins. They were sensational in this game. I'd say their offense, wasn't bad early, just kind of feeling their way out. And then once they got rolling, they really picked them apart. Kirk Cousins was not missing with his passes, but they tried to establish the run. It really wasn't coming along that well. But they wore down their offense. I mean, by the end of the game, they were clicking on all cylinders. So I don't. It could have been Washington just flat out whooped them, but, you don't take anything away from the Redskins. I shouldn't, just keep talking bad about the Raiders because it sounds like the Redskins didn't play well. They were great tonight. They're interviewing Josh Norman right now. I don't even think they threw his way once, and sometimes we forget how good Josh Norman is. Certainly, I do at times, but he's a top-end cornerback. So, hats off to the Washington Redskins, but a dull, boring, just awful game, 27-10, not even that close. If it wasn't for 2 fumbles in the red zone, Oakland would have been shut out. All right, so we will give you the preview of the Monday night game tomorrow, likely in the morning between the or almost certainly in the morning between the Dallas Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals. When that game goes final, we will give you the recap of it, so be sure to stay tuned for that, and remember, we appreciate all subscriptions. Have a good night, folks.